These children were sold by their parents to military camps right after birth for brutal training. Those who disobeyed would be given numbers and receive special treatment. At age 5, every child was required to watch hunting dogs and wild boars fighting each other. This cruel scene was unbearable to watch. Even so, the instructors wouldn't allow anyone to look away. At 12, they had to take a 100-kilometer long-distance running test every day. The person who came in last would be executed on the spot by the instructors. At 16, they would conduct shooting training on simulated battlefields. Whether enemies or hostages, they would shoot them all. After 18 years of brutal training ended, soldiers would have their names and blood types carved on their faces so that blood transfusions could be given to the wounded on the battlefield later. This way, everyone was trained into an inhuman war machine. They had no expressions, never spoke, and only thought about war and killing. Jimmy was the best among this group of soldiers. He had experienced countless wars and never lost a battle. His battlefield statistics were maxed out, but even though they were so strong, the day came when they would be replaced. This day, the colonel brought a batch of new recruits. They were genetically modified super soldiers. From their appearance, they looked much stronger than Jimmy and his group. But the captain was unwilling to let his trained soldiers be easily replaced like this. To convince him, the colonel randomly selected a new recruit to demonstrate marksmanship. After firing a full magazine, the accuracy rate reached an astonishing 99%, but the captain was still unconvinced. He wanted to send out his ace warrior Jimmy to compete with the new recruit in endurance. However, this was the most terrifying part. Jimmy's endurance was already top tier, yet the colonel made the new recruit start 20 minutes late. In the end, he not only easily surpassed Jimmy, but also waited for Jimmy at the finish line for 10 minutes. After running this 50 kilometers, Jimmy was already gasping for breath, while this new recruit was like he hadn't run at all, his breathing unusually stable. Next was a strength competition. Both had to climb this 10-meter-long chain in the shortest time. Again, Jimmy started first, and the new recruit came from behind. The previous long run had already consumed most of Jimmy's strength. The entire climbing process seemed very difficult. The new recruit was still full of energy and climbed to the finish in less than 5 seconds. The captain still looked down on these new recruits. He believed combat experience was most important, so he proposed having the two fight on the chain. The colonel said this wasn't fair and needed to send out 2 more veterans, plus Jimmy. 3 veterans versus 1 new recruit. But the strength gap was still huge. Soon 2 veterans were kicked down and fell to their deaths. Jimmy took the opportunity to jump on the new recruit's back and blinded one of his eyes. But in the end, he was also knocked down. The veterans were completely defeated. The captain finally accepted the fact that the veterans were being eliminated. As for the bodies of Jimmy and the other 2, they were transported by spaceship to an abandoned planet and thrown away like garbage. But unexpectedly, Jimmy miraculously survived.